The St. Lucia Social Development Fund presents Sons and Daughters of St. Lucia, the Land, the People. Today's program highlights Olga Patterson's growth and her contribution to St. Lucia. From as early as 1905, the coaling industry was a booming business, and businesses like Barnard & Sons, Peter & Company and M&C played pivotal roles in St. Lucia's economic development. In those days, coal carriers were paid not in cash, but in tokens. These were metal tickets of various sizes, manufactured in London. These tokens gradually became a kind of unofficial currency and were accepted by many businesses as payment for goods purchased over the counter. These early years were characterized by major international policies which were changing and impacting smaller economies in negative ways. The world was on the brink of the First World War. The Panama Canal was opening up. Castries was burned significantly in the disastrous fire of 1927. By 1929, the first airmail service was inaugurated, and this gave way to a weekly airmail service between St. Lucia and the US and Canada. The movers and shakers included people like business magnate William Peter. He was among the people who fought for the first electric lights that were turned on in 1933. This is the St. Lucia to which Olga Mildred Patterson was born on October 13, 1905, the first of three children to Mr. and Mrs. Charles Patterson of Castries, both natives of neighboring St. Vincent. At that time, and throughout Mildred's early adult life, the Catholic Church was the leader in spiritual development in St. Lucia. Olga herself was a product of the Anglican faith. On Sundays, the family worshipped at a small Anglican church built in 1842, 10 years after the Holy Trinity Church was built. Every Sunday morning, she would walk to worship at the church. This was repeated at 3 o'clock every Sunday afternoon for the Sunday School Catechism. Like most St. Lucians, she was a woman of strong faith. At the time of her birth, her father was the officer in charge at the Soufrière station. As a result, Olga started her schooling at the Soufrière-Choiseul district. Her primary schooling started on their transfer to Castries at the Anglican school not far away from the Anglican church. She enjoyed a happy girlhood which she shared with her earlier childhood friend Dame Edna Lewis, whose family was also from St. Vincent. Very early on, Olga had developed an intense love of nature and people that characterized her adult life. By the age of 15, she was a pupil teacher at the Anglican infant school, earning a hefty wage of 4 shillings a month. Some think it may well have been 3. Her instinctive love for children wedded her to the teaching profession, in which she served for 46 years, during which she rose to the top, acting head teacher of the Anglican primary school. Apparently in those days, females had not broken the glass ceiling, and the head teacher was always male. Teacher Olga was equal to the task. On her retirement, her staff described her as having maintained the high standards of the school during her acting period, and at one time, when it was apparent that it was slipping from its accustomed position, she was able to retrieve it. The task was not easy. In spite of steadily increasing numbers and inadequate staff, the difficulties were surmounted. During her last acting period from September 1964 to July 1965, the school was successful in acquiring a very high percentage of passes at the Standard 6 school leaving examinations, a reasonable number of scholarships to various secondary schools on the island, and most of the teachers were successful in their examinations. Teacher Olga's activities were not confined to the classroom. She started a brownie pack in her school and served for some years as townie owl. In addition to all this, an integral part of her work as a teacher was her work in the church. For many years, she served as superintendent of the secondary school. She had no children of her own, but molded and trained many. She took an active interest in local affairs. She felt strongly that worship was critical to survival. She absolutely loved the children, and after her retirement, she opened and managed a private school at her residence in Castries. In 1966, she was awarded the British Empire Medal for her dedicated work with young people. In 1988, she received the L'Épiton Medal Gold. She was granted a lifetime membership of the Business and Professional Women's Club. She has been acclaimed as one of St. Lucia's first 50 women of merit. Join us next time for another in the series of Sons and Daughters of St. Lucia, a program designed to highlight various aspects of the lives of people who assisted in the development of our island, St. Lucia.